life and death, love, fear, hope. Hopefully it's all there. Yeah, a bit of craziness, imagination, yeah, wonder.
It would be great if you sort of sense that these scenes, that it's not just costume, that it's more than that it's really a different world that we're entering.
So we're creating these experiences that enable an experience of an ecosystem, an experience of an interactivity of all the things involved in the piece.
I would like to something like where people come and they will be somehow experience something what they don't get anywhere else, and it will be something else than when you just sit in the audience, you watch something and you go out.
Infinite is an installation and performance, and it's merging human art forms of dance, music and visual art. And there is a layer of the physical world, but also a layer that is of the metaphysical world, or one of dreams and thoughts. Yeah, I love that when a piece doesn't mean one thing, because for me, even when I create it, I think of multiple layers, because I love that dance has a certain abstract way of talking about things, but at the same time it's always human because it's expressed by human beings. So I love that there is the possibility of having you know, several layers in that.
I think all three of us latched onto a different point because we have different brains. And I latched onto very much a little research I did about how the sea is actually divided into different levels, that they all have names for each level, and they all have very particular type of life forms that live there, who have very particular needs. And then I imagined this, if these were tribes or people, I thought like, yeah, the people living in the bottom of the sea, they have completely different culture, religions, thoughts than the people living on the upper layer. That was a thought for that, sort of like, okay, what if we have a tribe that only has this black lac to create their individual styles from, and they still have this desire to sort of make differences. I say like, yeah, but I'm not like you. But still working with the same material. So that is what I took as a starting point for this scene.
How do you actually make something that feels connected? Is you create boundaries, create a sound world. So part of that research for me is exploring textures and sounds and finding ways that they can be manipulated and reinterpreted. The choice of using a cello as the main acoustic instrument. There is also some voice, a choir that I was lucky enough to work with. Sort of, again, I was trying this idea that I'd had of, you know, what does a choral sound like? How do I capture all that color and beautiful shape in a musical gesture? And all of a sudden, this sound came out, and it just sounded like this spurt of choral. And all of a sudden, I was like, yeah, okay, now this is it. Now the sound world feels real.
I mean, even I want to deliver something from myself what can stand easily as an individual art. I don't care about it as an individual art. So I'm really interested in what is in the end, and I will do every time the maximum for that this work as the whole package. My idea was that everything in our lives are in the circles. In the circles. And the circle has a basic shape, so it is always the circle, it is a square, and then it's like a perfect triangle. And that's something what you can see everywhere. like in a absolutely like high-tech engineering. So, and you can see it in most old biological structures, foundation of this earth. Like when you make the macra, so there's a system like a cells, which you're connecting and you build a structure. First time when the actors with the lighting came, or dancers, and now I can see how it lives, how it works, which like connotation or how it affects each other. And this is very special.
It's very nice because all of a sudden it becomes real for the dancers. Like I have seen the sonography, you know, in drawings and everything, so I kept it in mind. But for them, all of a sudden it becomes real. Ah, this is the coral. Ah, here I can put my arm through. Oh, the house is real. I can go in. You know, those things, it also really helps the dancers to take on that role of really like embodying and living in that moment. So it helps everything. So it's really nice to take that next step.
I see the huge value in a de-anthropocentricizing of a worldview. So taking our worldviews and saying, no, humans are not the most important thing. We're just one of the things on this planet. And as soon as you shift your worldview from saying, you know, we need to save the planet for us, to how can we engage with the planet in a different way that benefits all of the things that are accessing this planet, then you begin to make choices in a very different way. You know, you go to something and you know, you see a painting. I love Mark Rothko. How is it that I can see this completely inanimate thing that's just blocks of color, and yet have such a powerful, it can have such a powerful effect on me? And as soon as I recognize that, hey, this other thing is able to affect me, I'm suddenly in conversation with this thing, and that itself is a moment of de-anthropocizing my experience, recognizing that there's this other thing that I'm now interacting with.
It makes me sad how doing it again. It makes me sad how the world, the nature is. Sorry. There's comfort to be had. There's comfort to be had from the fact that it transitions, that things get shaped, reshaped, and change. Because then it is not finite. We keep thinking about the world ending. We cannot live anymore. It takes our breath away. But if we consider the fact that it might have a different shape and it might change, we might not be here, but that there's still the earth. Then there's breath again, then there's ways, options, life. And that's comforting.
We have this journey that is inspired by, you know, the various ecosystems and maybe the state of the planet. That was the starting point. Like it's partly there, of course, and at the same time, for me, on another level, it's also the journey of us as human beings. Like, what are we going through? It's also undoing the pieces, going. You know, we are becoming maybe a new creature as well, you know, and that connects again also about being born, dying, maybe being born, like a cycle of life, however you want to see that.
There's sort of like this fluctuation of different life forms, different influences, and then it breaks up, and the pieces create a new system, and this new system continues, and then again it changes. And this change is sort of eternal. It is infinite.